organic fertilizers affordable and practical for small-scale farmers?
Yes, organic fertilizers are very. People have been saying it for small-scale farmer is okay, for the big scale farmer is not. But what I want to say, the organic fertilizers are very, very suitable for the small farmer, are very suitable for the medium farmer, is very suitable for the big farmer. Because once you do that, for example, a small farmer, it means you are no longer paying money to buy fertilizers. You are making it by yourself. And you know what you are giving to your plant, which means you know what you are going to eat. You know what is inside the plant, the crop you are eating, because you made it by yourself, you used it by yourself, and you are eating the food. So I think it is very, very relevant to a small farmer.
How can governments and NGOs promote the use of organic fertilizers?
Yeah, I think what I see as government, first of all, they should boost the production of organic fertilizers. Maybe by first ensuring that they collect all the garbage, not the garbage, they collect all the organic matter in the markets, turn them into good fertilizers. But also, they should now start setting outlets in villages, in rural areas, outlets where farmers can buy. Because what I've found, farmers already, they are starting to look for organic fertilizers, but they are not in rural areas. Therefore, government should try to put, or to encourage the dealers to put outlets in rural areas whereby people can access organic fertilizers. Organic fertilizers purely use plants. So they not use plants, but they use organic matter. And the organic matter is just natural. Therefore, organic fertilizers, once made in a proper way, they are very, very safe. They are not poisonous. They don't harbor pathogens, because during the fermentation, all the pathogens will die. Therefore, they are very, I would say, they are 100% safe. Which is important is we should get proper packaging so that when they are done, then they don't become poison. So they are 100% safe.
How can research institutes help improve the efficiency of organic fertilizers?
I think this is very, very key, very critical. Research institutions, universities now must go, because what is actually happening, these organic fertilizers are made at the lower level. They are made by farmers, they are made by small farmers, but nobody is coming to explain how to make them, okay, to explain what is inside these biofertilizers when they are being made by the small farmer. So it's very critical that now research institutes come and start working with farmers and understand and make research and recommend and advise, so that these fertilizers are actually made using the protocols which are acceptable within the research arena. So we need research. That's still a big missing link in organic fertilizers. Not only in organic fertilizer, but also in organic farming. We need research. We need researchers to actually take keen interest. But also we are saying government should invest in research as far as organic fertilizers are concerned. How is it?
How does organic farming and organic farming differ?
How is organic fertilizers and organic farming differ? Yeah, I would say organic farming uses organic fertilizers. If you are an organic farmer, you can never be called an organic farmer if you are not using organic fertilizers. And the process is very clear. That if you are to sell your product as organic product, you must be certified as an organic farmer. And if you have to use organic fertilizers, those organic fertilizers must be certified as organic fertilizers. But the good thing is, currently, if the inspectors come and see how you are making your organic fertilizers, and they see the source and the process, you don't need to certify them unless you are going to sell them. But if you are going to use those ones in your farm, you can make your own fertilizer and use them. But then it means the inspector is going to look at how do you make your fertilizer, and how do you store them, and how do you use them. But if you are going to sell the organic fertilizer, they must be inspected and certified as organic fertilizers. Then you sell them. And once if you are an organic farmer and you are buying organic fertilizers, you have to buy certified organic fertilizers. If you are a farmer and you have to use your fertilizers which you have made, you have to make them in such a way that they follow the standards of organic fertilizers.
What is the role of organic fertilizers in integrated soil fertility? When
you look about soil, what is soil? Soil contains the solid particles. Solid particles are sand, silt, and clay. Soil contains organic matter. Soil contains living and non-living organisms. Soil contains humus. When you look at organic fertilizers, they contain all of those. For example, when I'm having solid biofertilizers, they must contain soil, which contains clay, silt, and what have you. So you find soil, organic fertilizers, they are actually the concentrate of soil. Organic fertilizers, they are the concentrate of soil. So when you take the organic fertilizers into soil, you are just saying you are putting concentrate into the soil. Therefore, the soil will perform better.
How can organic fertilizers be standardized to ensure quality control in market?
I think this has already started. For example, when I'm making my organic fertilizer, I have to know what ingredients, in what quantities, and how long does it take. So I think it's already started. Organic fertilizers are being standardized, that you don't just, you have to measure, we have to weigh. But sometimes you don't need to bring a weighing scale. For example, today we know people can measure using their hands. Say this is 1/4. They just do like this, 1/4. So they can say from here to there it is so much. So if you want to really standardize it, you can standardize it either by weighing or by experience, giving ratios. For example, you say I'm having a 60 kilogram bag of coffee husk. I'm using a 60 kilogram bag of rice husk. So you say, when I put 2 bags of 60 coffee husk, I put 1 bag of 60 of rice bran. So it must be standardized. But what is very, very important is the sources. Where do you get the raw material? Because I've found whereby people make organic fertilizers using chicken manure, and they are using chicken manure where they are using a lot of drugs and what have you. When you make this organic manure, when it is tested, they find a lot of heavy metals in your organic fertilizer. Therefore, standardization also looks at where do you get your raw material, which you are going to use in making your fertilizer. And I think that it's very, very important to standardize it, but also know the materials and where you get the materials and why are you using that material. For example, if I want to get a biofertilizer which is going to encourage fruiting, I must know which crops, which parts am I going to use if I'm going to make a flowering biofertilizer. So it's very, very key, and it's very possible.
In what ways can organic fertilizers reduce soil degradation in over-farmed areas?
You see, soil degradation. I think I've already mentioned this. What is soil? Soil contains organic matter. It contains solid particles. It contains microorganisms. So it contains water and what have you. And one way of degrading soil is killing all the microorganisms, is removing all the organic matter. So you find organic farming, when you are using organic fertilizer, you are not removing, you are just adding. Because when you are putting organic matter, you are putting microorganisms. So it is now helping to stop soil degradation. But also we are looking at stopping erosion. In organic farming, we do what we call contouring. We do mulching. We have a system which is called 365 green cover or soil cover. 365 soil cover, it means you have to keep your soil covered almost throughout the year. And once you do that, there is no soil degradation. There are very many methods of how you can do that without just bringing the dry mulch. You can use live mulch, so very many ways of keeping your soil covered throughout the year.
What crops respond best to organic fertilizers?
Specific conditions. So if you have to make a biofertilizer, you make in such a way that it is specific for that crop. For example, if I'm making, if I'm going to grow carrot, I don't need to give carrot liquid organic fertilizer. But also when I'm giving the solid biofertilizer, I don't give it fully decomposed biofertilizer, because fully decomposed biofertilizer has those nutrients which are readily going to go into the carrot. So I give it to half decomposed biofertilizer. When I decompose, I don't decompose it fully, I decompose it half. But for example, when I'm going to grow my bananas, they are heavy feeders. I give them fully decomposed, so that there is that boost. But what is also important, that these plants need boosting by giving them, you give them the solid biofertilizer and also liquid biofertilizer when they need it.